Assalamu alaikum, it's Mama Layla. I'm wishing you a happy Sunday. It's full moon day today. And you know, full moon. And anyone who knows me knows I am the moon lady. I love the moon. I am very much so resonating with the moon. I will be sharing with you my stories with the moon. I'll give you one story I have with the moon during the persecution and my darkest times. The location of the story is Seattle, Washington. The time, it was 2020 during the lockdown. At the time, I was working at the grocery store in a place called Queen Anne's. At this time, it's when I really experienced the most horrific torture you could ever imagine. I've talked about it a lot of my videos, but if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. My name is YASMINA Aden. I go by Layla Intell. And I was microchipped without consent by the US government in cahoot with the Indian military because I went surgery in India. They chipped my brains with a microchip to study and exploit my brain, how human brains works, without my consent, of course. Anybody who knows how US government exploit people through the military or the CIA or any of their nefarious dark entities, they know they do it with the participation of, if they exploiting black person, with the participation of the most respected black individuals, either from the community or the church. In a lot of cases, their own family are paid and paid for. Not my own family, by the way. My family is completely innocent from this horrific crime. But for example, during the Tuskegee experiment, where a US doctor from the military, I believe, experimented on 40 black men, syphilis. On syphilis, to see how far their body will be distorted and how slowly they will die. Horrible, evil. And they used this well-respected nurse who was really much connected to the church, the black church, and people loved her. They used her, the government did, to not only be complicit, but to participate and sell the big lies, because they have to tell a huge lie and maintain that lie and make it believable. They themselves believe their lies a lot of cases. I call these operations, the exploitation and US government, I call these picnic lynching. A lot of time, white people would come together in picnic area and lynch black men on the trees. And it was common for white people to believe, up to this day, I know so because I experienced myself, that blacks are not human and easily can dehuman. So I consider these operations picnic lynching, because it's sort of lynching when you try to destroy humans' life because you want to exploit them. Because white supremacy think blacks less than a human, they participate, not only just participate, they cheering for the torture, the humiliation, the dehumanization, and keeping up with the big lie. And anyone who says so, they would get so angry and defend the big lie. This is the white supremacy. So every time I see these intelligence agency, their puppets, their perps, they gang stalkers, I call them to their faces, you are participating in public picnic lynching of a black person, exploiting and torturing them. In my case specifically, they use the blacks in the intelligence agency, the police, and the military to come after me and to smear me with fabricated lies. Because white supremacy and fascism thrives only when the blacks and the minority participate, and done in a covert manner. So my story, it's a story of organized hate crime targeting black queer Muslim, Yasmin Aden of Seattle, Washington, by liberal Zionist, white supremacist, fascist, neocons, deep state Zionists, and also liberals who hate undercover black people. But there is hidden groups that most of the time people don't talk about, and that group is the Indians. The Indians have a quite history with the British Empire, and I'll be doing unjust if I include 1.8 billion people of India. No, there is a specific group of Indians. They call themselves Brahmin caste. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. These are people who are like a Zionist. In fact, they call themselves the Zionists of India, proudly. I've been to India. I love the country. It's such a beautiful country, beautiful people, very, very spiritual. But like everywhere, there are assholes. Everywhere there are good people. Okay, so the assholes I dealt with in India, unfortunately, including my surgeon who was bribed by the U.S. dark entities that came after me, and they actually microchipped me in that surgery. I was waking up in the middle of the surgery, completely traumatized, and they put me back. And when I asked what happened, my doctor brushed it off like it was nothing. Oh, your blood pressure was too high, so we have to cut the anesthesia, and that's why you woke up. Anyway, my point is, I was traumatized in that surgery, and fast forward, I returned back to the U.S. Now it's 2020. It's during the lockdown. I am being tortured, and I am followed by a drone every night when I'm going back home from work, and everywhere I go at night specifically. It shows at night. I don't know if they followed me during the day, but at night they show themselves, so they want me to be aware I'm being followed by this drone, and it radiates me. I am normally somebody who's super, super hyper in general, but when I am focused and there is a huge problem I face, I am the most focused person ever. I don't freak out. And probably they thought I was going to freak out since I'm extremely excited and hyper person in general. I'm excited about life in general, but I am extremely focused when they're... So God shows up. My ancestors shows up. All the angels, all my guardian angel, whatever you want to call them, the forces that surrounds me shows up every time something tells me, conduct a research immediately. I conduct research. I found out actually the US government has what they call a kill list. There is a gentleman. Every time there is a hype going on, there is always something very sinister going underneath of that hype. So what was the hype? We have all these things happening. Lockdown, we had the COVID, we have all these eugenics, satanic, mad scientists on the go, excited to exploit people, but people are so busy. I am extremely spiritual. I wasn't even aware how spiritual I was until this tragedy faced me. So there is something told me you must get serious about this without freaking out. Leave it to Allah. Start meditating. I immediately start meditating. Immediately. I always used to do yoga and some sort of meditation because I used to go to the nature, always loved nature, but not as intense of meditation that I started in. So in 2020, they radiate the hell out of me. I had at the time a roommate from Malaysia who was a graduate student at the University of Washington in Seattle. Me and him were outside of the house we were renting. We have two other roommates. But anyway, the drone showed up and I told him, look, I'm going to... this young Muslim Malaysian roommate, I told him, stay there and I'm going to walk and watch this drone follows me. And exactly that's what happened. So the drone started following me and he freaks out. I didn't freak out. I knew exactly what I faced with. I knew the government was coming after me. So he said, So he came from a really wealthy Malaysian family. I think his father is in the military or in the government of Malaysia, something like that. He knew what this was. So he said, Yasmin, you are being followed. This is quite serious. You need to report this. And I say, okay, don't worry. Allah got my back. As simple. That night, it was a full moon night. Okay? I always resonated with moon, even before I knew my connection and my power that lies. Astaghfirullah al-Azim, not my power. All powers are Allah's power. I am powerless servants of Allah, but my connection and my ability. When it comes to moon, I am very much so able to reach my deep, 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 deep inner self. Okay? That night, something more powerful than me was bringing that young gentleman, the grad student, engineering graduate student at the UW, to see what I was experiencing. Because as usual, they put people, when they're abusing them, into the mental health category. Like they call them crazy. This person, to discredit a racist white supremacy, power abuse, exploitation, and torture operation that U.S. government has been conducting for centuries up to this day. The specific group that were torturing me at the time were the military, but the most the Seattle PD, including the King County Sheriff, and also the I don't know if you are not spiritual, how else would you understand? But the spirit showed me exactly what was happening at that time. I couldn't explain it because so the Fred Hutchinson is the cancer center that's located here in Seattle, Washington. It is part of this horrific crime against humanity. They're trying to give me a cancer. But listen, please bear with me. I know it sounds like I'm all over the place, but not. It will come together, I promise you. It's just